The Hero Arts Classic Kit, Premium Kit, and add-ons this month really look back to the cherished times of childhood, including roller skates, bicycles, kites, ice creams, and best friends. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and in today's video I'll be sharing the Hero Arts My Monthly Hero Classic and Premium Kits, as well as the stamps, dies, and stencils from the add-ons. There's tons of new product to share, so let's jump right into the card making, and I'll explain the new products as we go along. First, let's take a look at the Classic Kit. It comes with this large stamp set that is solid image stamps, and there are dies to cut them all out. There's 2 different bicycles, a bunch of accessories, some grass, a little fence, things like that. There's also a 6x6 floral stencil. There are other things in the main Classic Kit as well, but these are the stamps, dies, and stencils. I want to show how a bunch of these stamps actually stamp out. So here's the grass at the bottom of the card, and then the bicycle. This particular bicycle is 2 layers, the wheels, seat, and then the bike frame. There's also flags that can come off the back of the bicycle. There's a suitcase that you can have on maybe the handlebars. There are those little streamers that come from the handlebars. Lots of options as far as sentiments. So for this one, I did die cut everything out, including the grass has a die that cuts that out. I cut the clouds without stamping them, just the dies out of white cardstock, and then popped up the bike on top of the grass and the little fence there. I have a flag that has a heart and those streamers cut out of a different color of Hero Arts ink, and that little suitcase that I am going to place kind of on the back of the bike. So really easy way to create a little scene and to create a nice card that says, "May your year ahead bring many adventures." For this card, I wanted to show how the stencil works so that you can see that as well. It's a really pretty big bunch of florals on this stencil, so I am using 1 color of ink. I am using some Distress Oxide ink. It is Squeezed Lemonade, and I'm holding that stencil in place on the Misty with one of those Misty sticky mats to hold it in place, and it's just that floral stencil creates a really pretty floral background. So for the second bicycle, you can stamp the wheels and then the frame in 2 different colors. I liked these 2 blues together. They are both colors of ink from Hero Arts. I have also a basket, some flowers, a little balloon, and I matted the stencil down on some nautical cardstock from Hero Arts. I like that yellow and blue color combination, and I thought it let the bike and the other accessories that I stamped really pop off the background. So I'm using a combination of foam tape and liquid adhesive, and then a little bit of white pearls for the flowers. Forgotten about the spokes of that bike, so I added that in last. This is the die set that's part of the premium kit, so you get everything in the classic kit plus this die set, as well as some other extra goodies that you can find on their website. So for the die set, I cut each of those dies out of different colors of cardstock, and I'm placing them on a 4th color of cardstock. So I have the first one in green cardstock. It's got the sort of rolling hill, the tree, and a little bench. The second one I'm going to pop up on 1 layer of foam tape. It's got a little fence, a mailbox, and a dog, and some more rolling hills. So you can use all 3 of these together like I am here, or you can just use one at a time, and there are plenty of demonstrations of that from other designers at Hero Arts. This time I'm going to cut 2 pieces of fun foam together. I folded them in half and then cut them in half so that I have a doubled up fun foam for the bottom. So each of these die cuts has a little bit of dimension above the next one in the row. This way you can see all of them, and then I just stamped a simple "Enjoy the Ride" at the top. These are the color layering clouds stencils. Now these are one of the add-ons. There's 3 different layers, but only 2 stencils. So for this first one, if you use a large piece of paper, you can use those little squares to draw onto that large piece of paper to show you where to line things up. I am using an A2 piece of paper, so I have it right in the window there, and I'm using that sticky mat to hold it in place. So once I peel that up, I've got my first layer of clouds. Now the second layer is on top here, and I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to make sure I don't go into the third layer of stencil clouds. So for this one, I'm using salvaged patina. So you can use several different colors of blues, you can use a rainbow, you can use whatever you like. But I really liked the way that these three blues work together, and the Distress Oxide is nice and creamy so that it blends really beautifully on this stencil. So once you peel that up, you can see you have this tricolor cloud background. So stamped "You Are Awesome" on there, and now we'll use the Kite Fancy die, which has several dies that you can use to create a multicolor cloud kite if you'd like. So you can just use one color, or you can snip these little places at the center and edges of the kite so that you can layer two colors on top of each other. So I have a green base, and then I've snipped a couple of pieces of yellow cardstock that I die cut from the kite, and now I'll just use some liquid adhesive to adhere them right on top. And I love the look of this kite. It's super, super cute. It also comes with the die that cuts kind of the cross that holds those pieces together, and then I popped that up. It also comes with a die that cuts a string. I cut that out of white cardstock. I know it's going to be a little tough to see on that cloud background, but in person you can definitely see that it is a nice kite string trailing in the wind above the clouds. And then they also have the little kite ties, so you can cut those out of a different color as well to make that string really stand out. So again, a really simple way to create a beautiful background and a fun element to your card, and then just add any one of the sentiments from any one of the stamp sets. This is a Triangle Mix Bold Prints. This is a fun and funky background that I could see myself using again and again. So remember to take out your black foam pad or mouse pad out of your MISTI, because the cling mounted foam already has some foam on it. I used some anti-static powder tool on a 6x6 piece of white cardstock, and then stamped it with some Versamark ink, and I'll pour some Hero Arts sparkling silver embossing powder on top. So it has both embossing powder and some silver glitter to it. So once you heat set that, you have this really fun sparkly background. This is the Your Dynamite Bundle. It's got some really cute roller skates that look like they're from the 1980s, and some really fun sentiments, a big flower, and kind of a rainbow or starburst with some stars, and a couple of sentiments. So I stamped these in some alcohol-friendly ink on some alcohol-friendly cardstock, but I did some very basic coloring, so I didn't show that. Just wanted to share that if you're looking for a silver, the Pentel Silver Sparkle pen is great for that. It adds some nice silver and sparkly details to cards. I just used it for the little chrome details on the roller skates. Forgot that there's a couple of ties that you can stamp. I decided to stamp them in color. And for the sentiment, I'm using two different colors of Hero Arts ink. I have the neon pink and then some blue as well. Mixes together to create a purple look. I thought it was perfect for this 1980s vibe. So once I had everything die cut out, and yes, they have dies for the sentiments as well. You can pop them up, you can put them flat to the card. I love dimensions, so just popping them up makes them stand out more from that fun, busy, sparkly background. And then I use a little bit of liquid adhesive to adhere those ties right onto the skates. This is such a fun card to put together. I will definitely be making another one soon. This is the Gumball Machine Fancy die. You can see all these different dies that will cut out different gumballs, little hearts, and the machine itself. The machine is very easy to put together. I cut mine out of red cardstock. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid adhesive and adhere the bulb to the machine, and then I did snip out that little silver piece that's kind of where the gum comes out, and then die cut the top in red, and then also die cut it in black and snipped off that top piece as well. So there's lots of places that Hero Arts puts one die, but you can snip them out and make them different colors of cardstock. There's also a stand for this, so I adhered that together as well. And then I just placed a bunch of dots of liquid glue in the globe of the Gumball Machine. And I'm using an embellishment tool to pick up those tiny little bits of cardstock. I'm trying to create a rainbow of little gumball goodies inside my Gumball Machine. So I'm trying not to have the same color right next to each other. And I really love the way they turned out. They're super cute. This is the Starlight Rays stencil. It's another 6x6 stencil, and I thought this might make a really fun background. So I'm creating a rainbow in kind of a diagonal across the stencil. I have a A2 piece of white cardstock behind that stencil, and I'm kind of holding everything in place again with that misty sticky mat there. And once I have the rainbow in light colors, I thought it matched the gumballs. So I decided to mat that sentiment and panel that is stenciled onto an A2 piece of black cardstock. So I had cut it down to about 4 by 5 1/4 and then pop up the Gumball Machine underneath the sentiment. Now the stand was a little too long. I hadn't thought about that. So I snipped it in half and then placed it on top of each other so that it was built up a little bit of extra dimension. To add a little more dimension and shine to the actual gumballs, I added some clear adhesive liquid to add some shine and a little bit of dimension to those as well. So this was a fun card to put together, and again, I think I would love to do this again. This is the ice cream truck bundle, so you get stamps and dies. There's the ice cream truck, several ice cream goodies, and several sentiments as well. Most things are able to be cut out with those dies if you get the bundle. So I just stamped the truck and a bunch of little ice creams. One of those ice creams has a little stand underneath it, so it's meant to really go on top of the trucks, which I thought was really cute. So I colored those in and die cut them out. And now I'll mat some white cardstock onto a blue cardstock onto a pink cardstock. So I love that look because it really matches the colors that I chose for the truck and the ice creams as well. So again, this ice cream is actually a little sign that kind of goes on top of the truck. And the sentiment that I chose, which was able to be die cut out as well, says, "You're my favorite flavor." So really cute sentiments in this whole entire add-ons selection from Hero Arts, and some really cute images that are so much fun to color, but you don't have to do anything crazy. They're really basic shapes that you can just have fun with. This is the Besties Bundle. So we've done lots of childhood imagery with the bikes, the kite, the ice cream, the roller skates, and here's your best friend stamp set, which is super, super cute. You can get the bundle with the dies or the stamps on their own if you choose. I love getting the dies because then you don't have to cut or fussy cut anything out, and even some of the sentiments cut out. I really liked the way the last card turned out with the 2 different colors matted in the background, so I did the same exact thing here. So I just have the white cardstock smaller and then the blue cardstock 4 by 5 1/4, and then that kind of magenta cardstock in the background, an A2 piece. So the 2 girls are just brightly colored. I didn't do a lot of fancy coloring. I definitely don't know how to do a lot of fancy coloring with these kids, but I love the way they turned out, and you can make a clean and simple card that is perfect for a best friend. I hope you enjoyed this look back at the cherished moments of childhood, and that you found some stamps, dies, or stencils that you'd like to include in your stash. If you did, let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.